What's up? Welcome to the strip. Coffee Talk Ave. Today, it's a topic I shouldn't even have to address. I shouldn't have to teach this topic. I shouldn't have to teach this particular lesson. It should be evident. But I so often hear these things being said. So it's time to rectify. I hear people say things like, I ain't trying to save nobody. I ain't trying to save the community. I don't care about what's going on. They so individualized though, but with a lack of understanding that if you didn't come onto this particular plane individually, I'm just going on the concept of what you know. If you didn't come here individually, then obviously how you grow and develop here is not an individual situation. So why care about your community? Let me give it to you like this. Most of y'all are going to die within a 10-mile radius of where you grew up and was raised at. These are facts. Most of you are at the poverty limit, at that income limit. That's a fact. Most of you, whether you're on EBT or your mate, is getting some governmental assistance. That's a fact. Most of your kids attend public school, which places the responsibility on somebody else to teach your kid rights, wrongs, ABCs, 1, 2, 3s, and the fundamentals of the shit that's going on out here in this illusion. That's a fact. You come from the community. The community that even if you do think you moving and getting ahead, even if you do think that you've moved to this suburb and that's so much greater than, stop the bullshit. You move from one jurisdiction to the next because you ain't got no power to change shit or to do anything different because you didn't take no time to enlighten yourself and raise yourself. But instead, you probably took in some knowledge and tried your best to figure out ways to contradict it so that it wouldn't stand corrected and you wouldn't have to feel uncomfortable in your wrong living. Why take care of the community? Because 9 times out of 10, your mama and your daddy still stay in the community. 9 times out of 10, your grandparents still stay in the community. 9 times out of 10, you raising your kids in the very community in which you talking about. Even if it's not your specific block, it's in a community that's very much the same. Then you niggas that want to move around pink bellies, thinking that it make you feel better about yourself. I never wanted to live around a bunch of people who didn't like me. How could you feel better about yourself? Oh, you feel better because your kids can go outside and play with some pink bellies. You fucking idiot. But it's not about black and brown and pink and yellow. It's about the community. Why take care of the community? Because you're from the community. You're of that community. Your kids is going to grow up to gravitate to that community. You should be fighting for a grocery store in your community. You should give a fuck. You should care that every corner store in your community got more tobacco and alcohol than food. You should care about that. Because you send your kid to that very store to get some candy. But what's influential at the store? They see multiple bottles of alcohol, all different types of tobacco, and no healthy food choices, no healthy snack choices. When you do get a grocery store in the community, you pitch bitching and moaning about the prices, although the quality of the food is better than the rinky-dink grocery store that was thrown together that's probably down the street on the next block with the penitentiary food in it. That's why you should care about the community. You should care about the community because your mom pumped gas at the gas stations at the community that when you pull up at the community, it look like a fucking mini festival outside, and nobody that's standing there is a customer. You should care about that. You should care about it just even enough if you call yourself man enough to have a woman and she goes to the stores. She goes pump gas. She's out and about in this community. You should give a fuck. So don't go telling me about, oh, why should I try to save the people? You ain't trying to save the people. You're trying to make correct pathways. But along the way, there is going to be some people that you need to correct because they're in your way. And if you're scared to correct them, then you're going to become in the way. When you're scared to open your mouth to the ones you should be opening your mouth to, talking sideways to, trying to contradict what they're telling you, trying to challenge what they're telling you, you don't. See, a lot of y'all assume that when a person come up to you and they might be driving a nice car, they automatically placed somewhere in society, or that they got a job that the price range may seem to you illusionally successful to you that deems them comprehensible. Y'all niggas need to fix yourselves and y'all way of thinking, because it's all messed up. See, I always say the first part of fixing started yourself. And since most of y'all is scared of yourself, you're scared to look in the mirror and point out what's need to be fixed. See, because somebody right now sitting there, yeah, I know I need to read more, I know, you know what I'm saying? But you ain't picked up a book, you ain't bought a book. You bought a bag, but you ain't bought a book. Oh, I know I need to get to this and get to that and reach out to this person or reach out to that person. But you can't and you won't because you fill your time and space with a bunch of bullshit that don't mean shit. Well, I'm making money doing it. What's money to you? What is money to you? What is money to you? I'm just saying, what is money to you? A couple hundred? A couple thousand? But with no ownership? None of it is substantially yours because you're probably making payments, meaning like rent or car note. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. You're still paying for your laptop. You got the newest iPhone, but you're still paying on it. You know what I'm saying? The most of your day should be spent on building. Making them links. I don't care what's in your way. Get there. Get there and get that 10, 15, 20 minutes in. That's discipline. All that old rest of that old corny bullshit, man, save that shit for somebody who don't know no better. Motherfuckers make time for the shit they want to make time for. I see it all the time. All day long. Motherfucker go sit with somebody that can just make them chuckle and giggle and forget about the pains. That's what it be. See, it's easier just to go sit up under somebody who ain't gonna be telling you shit that make you have to think. So they can tell you about their stresses, while you can tell them about your stresses. Y'all can bitch, moan, and groan about each other's job because y'all don't run shit. Y'all work for somebody else who run you. You sit around and talk about your women problems because you so much of not a man. That's why you have women problems. You know what I'm saying? Y'all share each other's baggage instead of trying to build and empty them bags. You know what I'm saying? Sitting back trying to be every piece to everybody's puzzle ain't gonna work. See, I can't be there for you, especially if you older than me by several years, and I'm still trying to help you. I'm trying to become. Can't keep putting justifications in places where there is none. In them places where you put in justification, there should be accountability placed in them places. But no one's trying to do that. No one wants to be accountable and responsible for self because you've been indoctrinated, taught, drilled, and spellcasted on so much against that's what the problem is. You need to look within yourself, figure out what you want to do, then start. That's why you should be taking care of your community. You should be walking and mingling in your community and teaching your kids about economics. Why you should be owning this corner store versus the person who owns it. What you could do to or and for your community if you owned it. Bitching and moaning, but you spending your money elsewhere. Most of y'all won't go in the black mom and pop stores because to you it's you helping somebody else. Hold on 1 second.
Said you have to go back into two rooms. So she has to be
one more second.
She has to be in her room and I have to be in my room.
Hold on. Accountability. See what I'm saying? You can do it all. Family time while you record. So you want to be separate so much. I watch people become weird for trying to be different. Just because they thinking that, I don't know what they be thinking. So you could be so different that it just don't make sense no more. And it don't even make sense to yourself. Because you reaching. See, some truth have touched you. Some truth came your way. And you rejecting it. You rejecting it because within yourself, to really sit and think about that. And to really bring it to rationalization, some of the shit about yourself is going to be put on the chopping block. See, when you start to move forward, some of them people got to be put on the chopping block. So you want to stay up under mommy. When you start to move and become successful, you ain't around mommy. Especially if mom wasn't a successful motherfucker. If dad wasn't a successful person or moved in them types of manners, you're not going to be around them if that's what you're trying to become. Now, if you're trying to stay normal and regular and not be much of nothing and live and die and that's it, complain about something and never put your mark on the world, never put your seeds in the ground, who is me to complain about that? By all means, enjoy that life. That ain't what I'm talking about, though. I'm talking about those who know that you're here for a lot greater deeds than the things you've been doing. because of the distractions that's been keeping you from becoming you, 100% of what you could be. That's what I'm saying. That's why you're supposed to be taking care of your community. See, a lot of you think is when I'm saying community, I'm just talking about the select couple of streets that you probably grew up on and kicked it in and went through the trenches with your boys and had your first smoke and your first drink and your first date and your first little taste, and you know what I'm saying? That ain't what I'm talking about. Your community is much larger than that. Your community stretch uptown and downtown as well. I get so tired of hearing people say one person can't change a situation. One person can change a situation. Just one person moving in a certain type of way can change a situation. Because one person moving like that will attract a second person. Now there's two people moving like that. Two people will attract the third person. Now there's three people moving like that. Now it's become trend setting. And it's become the cool thing. But if it's the right thing, then it makes the right situation. Yeah. Put that on your plate. What's the purpose of serving the community and helping the community? Because your mom go to that pharmacy up the street that's always getting robbed. Your auntie goes to that fast food right there that's always got somebody running up in the drive-thru. No matter if you moved on or stay somewhere else or not, if you from that situation, literally, the suburbs are like the inner city, minus the skyscrapers and a lot of the concrete. Same crime, same drugs. And in some cases, it's a little worse because it's not so in the open. So when crimes get found out, it's just horrific. Same thing going on. See, the illusion is you think you're doing better because you look outside, ain't nobody on the corner, ain't no shooting, you ain't here. Man, stop the madness. That's trickery. That's to settle you into comfortability, you goofy ass. You get comfortable and you stop moving because you think that you've reached that ceiling. There is no ceiling to success. There is no ceiling. You can go as far as high, as broad as you want to. You are the it. You're the it factor. Slowly but surely, I hope you're catching on. For those who've already caught on, you know what to do. Link in. Link in. Comment section right there. It's a like button right there. You can subscribe and do all that good stuff that the YouTubers do. Just get in. Some people care about you, and some people trying to tell you correct ways to do and to not do. See, a lot of y'all done reached a certain age where I ain't trying to listen to nobody. Nobody tell me what to do, man. I'm a grown ass man. What? When you get hired to your new job, you go through training. You know who telling you or teaching you what to do? Some other grown ass man. And you know who's sitting there just like a little quiet ass bitch listening? Waiting to achieve that so you can go and get your pennies in 2 weeks? You sitting there. Don't tell me nothing. Period. Run yourself. Period. Point blank. Welcome to the Strip. Coffee Talk Ave.